Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening. Today, in this moment, I'm going to continue a brief Dham explanation. As usual, today also I have chosen a topic. Particularly, this is a discourse which is found in the books of linked discourses, which means in the Samyukta Nikaya. This discourse is named as the discourse of Mahali. When we consider about, first of all, the essence of this discourse, this teaching teaches us regarding 7 types of inner qualities as the showing the path, showing the way that leads to reach to the position of the Lord of Deva, which means Chakra. The main expectation, main object was by preaching this discourse to show the path, to show the way, to show the method which leads to reach to the position of the Lord of Deva. Mahali is a person who was belonged to the tribe of Lichavi. Therefore, he was identified as the Mahali Lichavi. One day he went to meet Lord Buddha. At that time period, Lord Buddha was dwelling at the city of Vesali city in India. He went to meet Buddha, and after approaching to Buddha, and he first of all he paid his homage to Buddha. Then he sat down in front of the Buddha and asked, "Dear Bhante, have you ever seen the Lord of Deva? Have you ever seen Lord of Deva Chakra?" Lord Buddha directly answered to his questions, "Yes, I have seen the Chakra." Then Lichavi Mahali had a doubt, because as he had heard regarding the Lord of Deva Chakra, he was a very powerful one. Particularly, individual cannot see from his naked eye easily. So therefore, he had doubt whether Lord Buddha was seeing the person who as the Lord of Deva, whether he is a genuine one or another person who looked like the Lord of Deva. Then again he asked, "Bhante, are you sure that you saw the person as the Lord of Deva, whether he is a genuine one or another person who looked like Lord of Deva?" Then Lord Buddha again mentioned to him, "No, I have seen the real, the genuine Lord of Deva, Chakra. Not only that, I know the path, I know the process, I know the way, I know the qualities which lead to the reach to the position of the Lord of Deva." Then, first of all, according to the topic of the discussion, first of all, Lord Buddha has mentioned, has given, has expressed seven type of name that are used to identify the Lord of Deva by different people for different reasons. All the name have different reasons, behind reasons each one. First of all, as the very first part of the discourse, Lord Buddha has expressed these names and all the reasons that have behind all the names. Then, as the last part or second part of the discourse, Lord Buddha has expressed the path of the that leads to reach to the position of the Lord of Deva. So it has included it has been included 7 type of component. So I'm not concentrate my mind in this occasion to the very first part of the discourse. Instead that I'm going to directly concentrate my mind into the second part, the last part of the discourse. As the last part of the discourse, in this occasion we will have to explain, as I mentioned, that the path which leads to reach to the position of the Lord of Deva, it is included 7 component. Now we will have to explain in this occasion 7 type of inner qualities as showing the path of the to be a Lord of Deva. According to that list, the very first fact is looking after the parents as long as they can, particularly the children of that parents. Looking after the parents as long as they can, which means for entire life. This is the very first fact, very first inner quality that Lord Buddha has mentioned as the path of the that leads to reach the position of the Lord of Deva. We should look after our parents not only to be a Lord of Deva, but it is our one of must-do obligation. Because when we consider about the influence, the impact that our parents have made to us to make our life in better way, it is huge, it is unconvincible. So therefore, we should look after our parents when they are getting old age, when they are reaching to their old age. We should look after them by showing our gratitude, because they have provided us everything. They have provided good education to us, and they always care. They were always caring us, and good shelters, foods, medicine, everything they have provided to us to make our life in better way. So, and also they always try to escape us from the bad society, from the bad addictions, from the bad behaviors, all the things, all the manners also they taught us. So therefore, when we consider about the influence, that the impact that they have made to us to make our life in better way, we should look after our parents. So they did this all the things without any expectation. If we do something personally to others, we expect something from them. But our parents did all the things to us and with the very much affections, but they never expect anything from us. So therefore, as a good person, as a good child, we shouldn't look after our parents when they are getting old age, when they are reaching to their old age. We should look after our parents as long as we can for our entire life. This is the very first fact that Lord Buddha has mentioned as the showing the path of that leads to the reach to the position of the Lord of Deva. So, as well as the Buddhism has indicated, our parents has not only our parents, every parents has very unique 4 type of sublimes with them, four types of mental inequalities which are identified as sublimes. For sublimes mental statements they have, particularly towards their children. The very first one is loving kindness. They have unconvincible loving kindness towards their children. They always wish very best thing to happen to their children. They never wish to very bad, unpleasant thing to happen to them. They always wish when we conclude all the wishes of their or parents that are appearing in the that are in the world, we can conclude their vision like this: may our children be happy, well, and peaceful. May no our children may no any trouble, any harm, any bad thing to happen to our children. Like this vision always has their mind towards us. So therefore they have unconvincible loving kindness towards us. This is the very first quality they have. This is called loving kindness. This is the very first sublime they have. Second one is compassion. They never expect, they never wish to bad thing to happen to us. Unfortunately, if we are going through unpleasant or bad or experience or circumstances, they always try to take us out from those bad, unpleasant situations, unpleasant experiences. They will do that, anything to that, to get to take out us from that, from bad situations, bad experiences. So why they never care about the whether it is right thing or unright things, and as well as whether it is life threatening one or other one, or so like this they never care. Why they are tending to like this, to act active like this towards their children when they are undergoing through the unpleasant or dangerous situations? Why they always tending to take us out from those situations by doing anything life-threatening things sometimes? Because of that compassion. It is very enormous compassion they have towards us. So this is the second one. Third one is sympathetic joy. They can happy with our all achievements, all the accomplishments. When we are reaching to our accomplishments, goals, they are happy with it more than anyone. And also by getting happy with that our accomplishments, they never expect from anything us. They never expect anything from us. But they are happy with that our achievements as they achieved their that particular goals. It is very unique. It is an very unique mental sublime, because anyone can't happy with when they are seeing others' achievements. Most of people cannot happy with it honestly. Sometimes they showing their joy or happy with it, but when we conclude, when we deeply consider about that feeling that we got, that we get at that time, but it is some sort of we feel some sort of jealousy feeling when we see achievements of others. So but our parents not like that. They can happy with our achievements, as I mentioned, as they achieved that particular goal of achievements or accomplishments. They get the similar happiness about that. So this is called sympathetic joy. This is a very unique mental inequality. Fourth one is they can bear they can tolerate anything that do their children towards them, particular rude things. If their children are doing rude things to them, they can tolerate it with a neutral mindset, with a neutral mind or moderate mindset. They never wish to anything bad thing to happen. This is called equanimity. Sometimes, for example, when we consider about if someone blame to us, if someone try to hit to us, any other bad thing to, if they try to any bad thing to do us, we cannot happy with it. We cannot wish to very best thing to happen. We can sometimes we can't tolerate it. But our parents are not like that. When their children do rude things to them, they tolerate it. They can tolerate it. They have that mental ability. They can tolerate it with a neutral mental mindset, neutral mindset, moderate mindset. They never wish to bad thing to happen to their children. This is called, as I mentioned, equanimity. This is a very unique inequality also they have. So therefore, due to these inequalities, four type of sublimes, Lord Buddha has mentioned, they are becoming very honor person, particularly towards to their children. They deserve some respect. They deserve some homage. They deserve that respect from particular from their children. Therefore, every children, according to Buddhism, according to Buddha, every children should pay his homage to his or her parents. They always should respect them honestly. And if someone is executing badly towards their rudely towards their parents, they are accumulating bad karma, which has some sort of energy to give some sort of negative result in the future. On the other hand, if someone is paying his homage towards their parents, if someone is paying his respect to his parents or her parents, and if he is looking after his parents very well, so he is accumulating wholesome karmas, which has some sort of energy to give some sort of positive result in the future. Not only this life, in the future life, in the circle of samsaric journey. So therefore, we should execute towards our parents in good way, in wholesome way, or in honest way. We should pay our honest respect, honest homage, honest looking after them, to them. So this is called the very first fact. Second one is, this one we should do as long as we can for our entire life, the looking after our parents. Not only looking after our parents, as the second fact according to that list is the children should pay some respect, pay some homage towards their other elders who live in their family, sometimes teachers, sometimes other elders who appear in the society. So they also deserve some respect, deserve some homage from the younger generations. So therefore, we should pay our honest homage, pay our honest respect towards our elders also. We should do this one also for as long as we can, for our entire life. This is the second quality. second fact that we have to practice. Third one is we should always use the gentle words. We should always speak gentle words, not the harsh words. It should be decided whether it is harsh word or gentle words according to the intention of the person who is expressing his ideas. So, for example, imagine a person wants to give some poison to a child. What kind of activation can be seen in him? He will gently approach to the child, that particular child, and uh, he will deal with him very gently, and he will touch his head, that child heads, and he will address him very gently. But his intention is very cruel. He wants to give some poison to that particular child. So then, after dealing with this gently with that particular child, he will give some poisonous food to that child. Then, after after making delusions by that particular child because of that gentleman's gentle words, gentle activations, if he eats that particular poisonous food, he will die sometimes. He will be getting so suffer from that by eating that poisonous food. So therefore, such sort of words are not, according to Buddhism, are identified as the gentle words. They are so cruel, very harsh words. Sometimes some children may recognize, may assume their parents are so mean to them, so cruel to them, so disrespectful to them. Some sort of imagination they will get, because by seeing their parents' execution of sometimes that how to they are how they are handling the situation. Why all our parents are executing like this to us? In sometimes, as we recognize, they are so mean to us. When we consider about their intention, they always want to take us out from the bad people, bad behaviors, bad addictions, bad things, bad society. That's why they are acting like that. It doesn't matter. Their children may reckon their parents are so cruel to them, but their intention is so pure, so wholesome. Therefore, such sort of words are, according to Buddhism, identified as the gentle words. So therefore, we always decide to the words, always identify the words that different people are talking to us, whether they are wholesome, whether they are gentle words or harsh words, according to their by considering their intention. So therefore, according to this fact, these teachings, this discourse, we also should always use the words, gentle words, which means honest word. With good intention, we should always talk to others. We should express our ideas with the good intention, honest intention. This is called we should practice this quality as long as we can for our entire life. Gentle words, using gentle words, talking gentle words for our entire life. This is called the third quality. Fourth one is you shouldn't speak divisive words. after hearing some sort of words that we are expressing to us, to others, if they are quarreling, after hearing that, if they are quarreling each other, if they are fighting each other, criticizing each other, such sort of words we shouldn't use, shouldn't speak anywhere in the society, anywhere in the world. So therefore, such sort of words at the present moments are, people are talking everywhere in the world, internationally, that through the medias, internationally they are doing this, they are talking such sort of words, divisive words. But we can't make sure that all the world in positive way, but as individually we try to refrain from those using those words, talking those words. Which therefore we shouldn't talk, we shouldn't speak divisive words for our entire life as long as we can, according to this list. This is the fourth quality you can practice to be a Lord of Deva, which as the path of which leads to the reach the position of the Lord of Deva. As the fifth one, you should be a generous person. You shouldn't be a stingy person. Generosity is a very good, wholesome activity that Lord Buddha has emphasized in different occasions. So therefore we should, this is a very wholesome activity. It never gain to you bad result, always will gain you due to this activity, due to this karma, wholesome generous karma will gain you very positive result. So therefore you should practice it as long as you can. You can start with like this. If you can at least a small piece of food to animal, it is also, according to Buddhism, it is also very wholesome karma. So you should do that by considering that with some sort of compassion thoughts with towards that particular animal, or with the loving kindness intention. If you can do that activity by generating such sort of mental environment, it is called charity. So we should practice that as long as we can. So this is the fifth quality. As the sixth one, you shouldn't speak falsehood. Instead, that you should always talk, you should always express your idea by using truthful words. But you shouldn't speak falsehood. Anyone doesn't like to hear falsehood. If someone tries to tell us falsehood, we never like, we don't like it. So in simultaneously, others also don't like to, if we are trying to tell them falsehoods, if they recognize as they are falsehood, that we are talking to them, that we are expressing to them, so they don't like it. So therefore we should all use truthful words as long as we can for our entire life. That truthful words also should be used in wisely in the according to the situation, by considering according to the situation, because every occasion is not the place to use the truthful words. So if we understand, if we realize this is not the place that we should use this, even though this is truth, this is not the place that we should talk right now, you should keep your quietness. You should be quiet at that time. If you understand, if you realize this is the place that I should talk truth, at that time, at that occasion, you should talk truthful words without any hesitation. So this is called, you should practice this. You should practice this as long you can, as well as for your entire life. This is the sixth quality. As the seventh quality, you shouldn't get anger. Time to time we are getting anger, we are feeling with some sort of anger feeling or hateful feeling for different reasons. If we realize, no, I am feeling with hateful thoughts, I am feeling with anger, at that at that time you immediately try to control that. You shouldn't continue it. Immediately try to control it. There are very unique methods are taught in Buddhism. You can try to grab those ideas from different discourses. I'm not going to mention them because already our time is up. So the controlling anger is the seventh quality. You should always try to control your anger. You shouldn't live with it. You shouldn't continue it. You shouldn't grow it in your mind. So this is the seventh quality you should have to practice for as long as you can for your entire life. So Lord Buddha has expressed, this is the path. If you can practice these seven types of inner qualities honestly with the pure intention as long as you can for your entire life, definitely after death, after this life, you will be reborn as the deities, the in charge of the deities realm, which is called Sakra. So you will be reached to that particular position, the Lord of Deva, due to these inner qualities. So therefore, try to practice these inner qualities as long as you can, as much you can, because they are so wholesome inner qualities. Never bad due to these practicing these inner qualities. Never a negative thing to happen to you. Never negative result will follow you. If you can practice these inner qualities, definitely as a result of this practicing of these inner qualities, the positive result and will follow you will follow you behind in future, not only this life and in the samsaric journey. So try to practice these inner qualities. Now I'm going to wind up this talk for today. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Let's recite sadhu, 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 sadhu.